Sonic is the next big, massive airdrop in crypto. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what Sonic is and how to farm it. So let's ignore the crazy bearishness on the timeline and jump right in. And before I kind of get into Sonic and why I think you should kind of pay attention to Sonic right now, is because there are tons of airdrops coming down the pipeline. Okay. And yes, Trump's policies haven't impacted crypto's price just yet. However, fundamentally, crypto's never been in a better spot because of the Trump presidency. And if you give him some time, I think it's going to prove correct. So the reason is there's couple reasons why you should pay attention to airdrops right now is Trump's presidency is pro crypto, even though it doesn't look that way with the price. David Sachs called meme coins collectibles, and there's going to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Okay, so over the last 4 years, there was many startups that had to go to Europe or other countries to launch, like Hyperliquid does not allow US based customers. And what is this going to do? So it's going to bring more startups stateside, and there's going to be bigger airdrops because competition is going to get extremely fierce, right? So you had Hyperliquid, which resulted in what was a multi-million-dollar airdrop for a lot of different users. So, and you look at Hyperliquid's kind of like metrics and how much revenue it's driving, there's gonna be other blockchains and startups that come in to try to exceed that. And now that they don't have to worry about Operation Choke Point 2.0 or the Biden admin finding them, they have free reign to go as big as they want. The SEC is dropping cases against Coinbase, Gemini, OpenSea. So that is a very, very strong signal for these new companies to come in. So I've already talked enough. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So what is Sonic? It's a layer one that evolved from FTM. FTM has been around for a while. It's rebranded to Sonic. It is backed. It's co-founded by this really well-respected dev as well. You can read in the newsletter about it if you want. I'll post it in the description below. So it's basically EVM compatible. You've all heard this story before. It's going for speed and cheap fees. And then the other kind of unique thing is it redistributes up to 90% of network fees to developers, reducing the burden on users. And again, it connects with Ethereum, right? The reason so many chains connect with Ethereum is because it's easier to get liquidity and users, in theory, from Ethereum to your EVM versus if you're a custom built EVM and you have to kind of build the ecosystem from the ground up. I used to work at a custom built layer one, and we had a lot of problems getting new users and liquidity in the ecosystem because it was isolated and it wasn't really easy to launch apps. And because of that, it was easy to build on the chain, but it wasn't easy to get developers to build on the chain because it's a cold start liquidity and users. On Ethereum, Ethereum strangely still has the most TVL in crypto, and I don't think it has the most users anymore, but if you connect to Ethereum, then you can get that liquidity over a lot easier. So you could compare Ethereum or Sonic to Ethereum, Solana, merging L1s like Hyperliquid. Listen, there's tons of L1s, so I'm not going to go into these irrelevant details. We know why you're here. You want to get into something early. You want to 10x your portfolio, and you want to get an airdrop. So it's another L1. It's backed by a really well-respected dev. There's more trusted investors in it as well. If you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, you can read the newsletter. So the TVL is already at 650 million, and it's basically done that within a few days. So people are paying attention to this airdrop, and they're already starting to farm it. So that's very, very telling. And the DEX volume went from 200K to 77 million. and it recently hit 189,000 in protocol revenue, but revenue fell all the way down to 17,000. Again, the whole market nuked. We are at the lowest fear greed index in years, I think. So people just they don't have the appetite to interact on chain. However, you do have the appetite because you're going to spend this time and be productive instead of crying in the casino so you can get a massive airdrop. And I'm doing more of these airdrop videos because there's so many of them and I wanted to challenge myself. What I'm doing is I have most of my money on Hyperliquid and I'm farming that season 2. That's where I'm leaving like my big money, like the majority of what I have is dedicated to Hyperliquid because I think it's going to do really well when the market turns around. And I want to farm season 2. However, I am starting with a small stack on all these other chains. And by small, I mean I think it's about 12,000. I had a Jupiter airdrop and I'm basically using that Jupiter airdrop. It was once worth 18K, but I inadvertently staked it and couldn't sell it. So by the time I sold it, it was only worth like 12K, which is a bummer. So I'm taking that 12K and I'm trying all these different protocols and projects out and farming them at the same time because I want to stay sharp. I want to stay researching new protocols. I want to be the first to some of these new opportunities. Maybe I'll get lucky and hit a massive airdrop. Maybe I'll just make a few $100. Okay. And the reason is, I'll give you 3 examples. So I farmed Magic Eden last year. I made 28,000. Again, I was driving a lot of volume because I was trading runes. And then Jupiter, I was trading memes. So I got that airdrop. That was about $12,000 when I sold it. Cato, I literally just logged in and clicked a few buttons, connected my social media account. The airdrop's worth $350. I spent $0 in maybe an hour max clicking around and researching it. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I farm 10, 20, 30, 40 airdrops, let's just say the average is $200. Let's just say times 30, that's 600 or 6,000 just for clicking buttons. And then maybe I'll get lucky and maybe I'll find a protocol that I really like and I'll farm it with more volume and I'll make 5, 10, 20, 30,000. That's my mindset right now is I want to see how far I can go with a small amount of money. So if you only have like a few hundred or 500 or 1,000, I don't think you should ignore these airdrops because just for very little work, you can get several $100s or several thousand. So how do you get money onto Sonic? So I use dBridge. It's actually a really, really good experience. And basically, there's a video in the Substack newsletter that you can watch, but you basically select the token you want to pay, go back, then select Sonic, okay, and then connect your wallet, make the swap, and then you confirm trade. It does not take that long to do it. So, and then you're good to go. So they're also doing an airdrop. So we have this season 2. What is this multiplayer? Okay. Season 1. Maybe I should have claimed my airdrop. Maybe I had an airdrop. I don't remember. It says I'm participated in season 1. I don't really remember doing that. But anyway, you confirm trade. It takes like a few minutes. Then you go to the Sonic ecosystem, right? And please use my referral code because I think you get a bonus for doing it. You go to Sonic, okay? It's my.soniclabs.com. And there's a few different ways you can earn, right? So passive points, earn points by simply holding whitelisted assets. Activity points, earn points by deploying your whitelisted assets. App points, earn further airdrop allocation from participating apps. Okay, that's pretty much it. So what I did is I bridged Sonic, and then right now I'm just passively holding stuff. So I minted whatever the hell this is. It is a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. And then I minted this and then I staked it, right? So I think I'm locked as well. So I locked it. See? Locked my Sonic. Manage lock. Unlock time. Okay. Why is this unlocked? Reset. Let's see what it does. Anyways, I staked it and I locked it. I think I only staked like $100. And how do I extend this? Locked amount. Unlock date to 26. Okay, so I guess this is unlocked. I thought it was still locked. Anyways, and then you vote, right? So I think you get the point. I don't need to go through every little thing. So the point is add like $100, start clicking around, map out how you want to farm this thing. I'm still kind of learning, so I only did $100. It's not much. I don't really know how much I'm going to make. I think it's going to be a big airdrop because to stay competitive and get liquidity from other chains, this is another way to get liquidity is the airdrop. So if they're aggressive with their points, it has the wealth effect like Hyperliquid, and it keeps people using the protocol. Now, as far as like user experience and stuff, I haven't tried any of the other apps or anything like that, but they have all these apps you can also interact with and earn gems or something like that, which can add to your points. And I don't remember, did I might be farming this one. I think it was borrowing. Where are my positions? I definitely have a position in this one. Docs, farms. But again, as far as UX goes, I personally don't think it's great right now. But yeah, see, I added like $10. And the reason I added $10 is because I'm just getting used to it. I might add more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you farm Sonic. And what they really want you to do is to be clicking around the ecosystem because, again, the reason you're getting money for this, it's the reverse of Web 2. They are paying you for your data. If people are using the chain and interacting with it, it raises the valuation of the blockchain. They raised all this money and they want to raise other rounds and get new investors. So if they can create metrics, even though some of it's going to be artificial, let's just say there's 1 million people farming this airdrop. Maybe 10% will stick around. That's still 100,000 users. If you have a crypto app or an app with 100,000 users, maybe 1% are power users, 1,000 of them. And of that 1,000, let's just say they're producing 5, 10, 20 million volume on their apps per year. Remember, these are fee-based businesses. So they make money off of every time you transact, the chain gets a cut of the fees. So I'm trying to make you understand why would they give free money? And that's why, because they can raise more money from that. It looks good to VCs. It looks good on social media when they're posting about TVL, and then it attracts even new users. So again, the percentages, let's say 1 million participate, 10% stick around. Of that 10%, 1% are power users. That's really the numbers you're looking for. You know, a lot of them are going to stick around, but you're trying to get a solid foundation and base of users in your ecosystem. And then from there, you can kind of keep growing it. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. Otherwise, in the description below is the Substack guide, and you can read that guide to kind of go through it yourself. All right. Thank you and have a good day.